Before we call on CHIUKWU OKIKE to be in our midst today, we will first wash our hands. Machashaka. Not mamashak. To be in our midst, O CHIUKWU OKIKE, in reverence, respect, and adoration. So we pray that you come and be in our midst, to be with us, to help us in this Ogbako Ishi Obi Biafra presentation based on Igbu Awa, the first fruit in Leviticus 23 verses 9 through 21. We call it LEBA no Kuchuku. We call it BANYIKARIA. Come and join us to speak and listen. Oh, CHIUKWU OKIKE, whatever they call it. Accept the way we say it in the language of heaven, your language. You know our heart. Oh, CHIUKWU, and help us not to misspeak. Let me help us not to lie. Let me help us not to deceive. Help us not to destroy anything. Or let us not to use your name in vain. So lead and guide us to give us provide us your fear, with your spirit, with your power. To judge right. Therefore, this is color. They call it in the language of deception and lie. A twist from the language of heaven. But we ask and pray and meditate that you help us to do right and to carry on this message of hope to your glory, O CHIUKWU OKIKE. You are the creator, the owner of life. You are the creator, you hold life. You judge. See how everybody now can see how the evil language has been, the language of heaven has been tossed around, twisted, to prevent us from being able to reach our Father in heaven in what they call Tower of Babel. And the Tower of Babel is actually crumbling on its own face by itself. Therefore, CHIUKWU OKIKE, you are the covenant. We hang on to you, and with you, we hang on to Eke Kroa. It's like using what is on earth to describe what is in heaven by saying, we are your branch. And we hold on to you, Adonai, and you hold on to Eke, the creator whose spirit you are, that creator with which he created the heavens and the earth. And you are Uji, the tree of life. That's what we call them in the Igbo land. In the land, in our home land, we call them Uji. Even those who live different parts of the world, anywhere. The true name is Uji, and we are the branch, and that's why we put Abochi. Some people say Abbas on our ground, wherever you give to our fathers. So that when we be righteous, your righteous law, Iwuchukwu, Iwozo, Iwuchukwu, righteous law, and then we hold on to you and we live perfectly with you as your children, and you be our Father. This is the righteous law. The moral, what is called moral law. The heathens, the language of the heathens. And another one is, the next law is when we, part of you is when to be able to marry, the way we marry and have children. We reproduce the children of the Creator, Igbo people. Igbo, which happen to be all black people, even though we have departed from you, some come to distribute, to make sure this light is in every corner of the world. And some of us are just run away from the evil of the land, of the original land, of where the earth was created in Igbo land. That's how we scattered. Either by being Idu, Londiozo, that you send with the light all over to light the rest of the whole world. Or we scattered because the lion chased a lot of us out of it. But now, as dry bones in the valley, we're back. We are prodigal sons and daughters, we're back. Please pardon us, forgive us, and welcome us back your midst again, so that we will live right, so that we will be righteous, do righteous, be righteous and clean, to be around you, to marry and reproduce your children according to your law, your covenant, to celebrate you the way we're celebrating the Igbu Awa today, in respect of our fathers, in respect of the walk through the year. And this is our first quarter that come out of 8 times 8 Izu, which is Izu Asato. And you multiply that 64. But the hidden say is 49. Then if you add one day being 65, which is the day of the Shabbat of Umbala, then you get 25th of this month, of this passing month of May 2022. But we're using it to celebrate both the Igbu Awa in respect of our fathers, whom you gave this land, and yourself, who is also our father in what we call Igbu Awa, that falls into what they call first fruit, because the first fruit is supposed to be offered to you. Therefore, before we continue, we're going to finish this of who we are talking, this what we are being bonded to Eke through you for, which is we have done moral, marriage, the next, and any child that is not born according to this turns out to be a mutant. It's not your child. That's the way you made your laws. And this is what you do, defend. You anointed the Idu to defend. The Ozo and the Ndinze to defend. No offense. No matter how much you love someone and they cross this line, you're going to have to defend the law. Defend the covenant. And the other one is the celebration. That we celebrate all these things that you taught us. And all the great things you have done for our fathers. And even for ourselves. Our days self. Dry bones in the valley. It's about to live again. And the fourth one is that whatever we eat, we have to toil on that ground. We have to get it from the ground you gave to our fathers. If we polluted the land, you chase those who pollute it out and be fertile for those who are in it. Because if you dump all these evil people on that land, in that village, not village, but it's Bilede, B-I-L-E-D-E, but they say it's village, among the hidden. So the Idu, or the Ozo of the land, like Mosi, and the sacrifice presenter of the land, like Aaron, that's his name. His circumcised lips, because if you can have a clean tongue or clean lip, these are some of the attributes of he that gives sacrifice to the Creator. And then the fifth one is sacrifice in CHIUKWU OKIKE. Whenever we do you wrong, unknowingly, we go and pray and sacrifice, do an offering, a sin offering, as you want us to do, to be cleansed, to wash our hands and the land, keep the land clean. If we do those ones that you say, if you do them, you shall be put to death, then the call is the call. Because you hold the land. Because if it's not taken care of, the whole armor will be closed. The whole village, the whole family will be closed. So you do have no choice but doing what he is anointed to do. That's why everybody, all the evil people, through whom the Satan, they are the Satan because they're born or raised or lived without the law. And what they do is that the number that those did the law became fewer and fewer and bringing their fellow devils in. And then people start talking, you cannot be prejudiced. No, nobody's being prejudiced. That's the way. If you say the Creator, if you call on the Creator and you're not doing His law, it doesn't, you can't run, you can't hide. It has to be the way, because he keeps his part of the bargain, and they expect you to expect us to keep ours. So, like, if you see somebody claim he's Igbo, like people, people who speak Ani and Ifi and Ifai CHIUKWU Ife instead of the Ihe, with all their mouth pointing up like beast. They are not Igbo. Igbo, your mouth stays Ihe. Ihani, Allah, not Ani. These are tags. These are symbols, signs. So if you have been confused by the devil by using the disfiguring or distorting this language and converting yourself to beast, set up yourself and return and speak so that Eke will not be insulted with your language of lies and language of hell and devil. Claim you're evil. Anytime something is going to be done to keep the land, sacred and make it remember what it is. You say Biafra, or you say Afra, you say Afraka. You say, oh no, we're going to join the devils in the north and keep you here. Biake, call themselves Biake, come and divide. Come and divide what? So, you're not supposed to be able to say Ise if you do not believe in these 5 covenants, and you're saying that somebody, not even a person, not even an ordinary but this illegitimate son, born the wrong way out of the covenant, not through marriage, that he is going to forgive all your sin, righteous or not righteous. If you say check up, can't say say because the covenant is Ise is 5. This is about CHIUKWU OKIKE. We are doing Onumba, which is the counting of the nation. Onumba, and where you get your number, the word number from. Onumba. This is who we are. This is our nation, who our nation is. And this is who belongs to CHIUKWU OKIKE. You can't say, take this illegitimate son, and you say that he is Idu, defender of this covenant he violated, that he was used to violate. And you also say that he is CHIUKWU, the covenant himself. Oh man. Now, let's go to Idu. Meditation. CHIUKWU OKIKE ka ekere eluigwe n'ụwa n'ahụ ụwa. Chineke ekere n'ụwa n'ahụ ụwa. Eze ala, onye kere ụwa. Otu CHIUKWU ahụ na-enweghị CHIUKWU ọzọ. Enweghị m CHIUKWU ọzọ, Belezor, now you are only my CHIUKWU. Chineke ekere eluigwe n'ụwa n'ahụ ụwa. You told us not to worship anything but you, not to humble or bow to anything, even angels from heaven, even Idu, but you, and that's only you that I humble myself and bow to. Like my father will say, the father will say, I will soon was the way he could me meron huntoi, upon a huntoi, and Bilede. See where that word humbling came from Hebrew language. Humbling, Bilede. That we must keep your name holy. He commanded that we keep his name holy. Do not play or joke with my name. And this is why they taught us to say, our Father, who is in heaven, who is only. Hallowed be your name. Ka ọchịchị gị bịa, alaeze gị bịa. Ka ọchịchị gị bịa, ka eme uche gị n'ụwa dịka esi eme n'eluigwe. Hallowed be your name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, as we give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our evils. But I enjoy. We didn't say them, we say we, including himself. So nobody forgives sins but you. And they say, as we forgive those who trespass against us. But that's only not to kill them. Not to go and grumbling and chasing them around. But he didn't say, forgive them sins. Forgive them the sins. Make us equal. Only the way the Most High Father, Yahweh, says we should forgive. And the ones that he cannot forgive, how about them also forgive? Put you use charge. There are sins that you would never dare to talk about forgiving, but lead us not into temptation. Someone never to enter. So we do not have to sin. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evils. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and glory forever and ever. And you say, if you do not do these covenants, if you say you die there. But you probably say, oh, well, because of grace, I cannot. Jesus, okay, they have died. Well, how does the one? So look at how you live. Look at how you live, and you say, oh, things are difficult. Life is bad. It's going to get worse. It's going to make this. Dry bones in the valley. Are you going to live again? So that's why the enabler is nothing but the covenant. And it is Ugu, this walking stick. This is the covenant, symbol of the covenant. This is the Ugu, the way he taught us to trail the path, tread the path safely. And the fourth is that you created the earth and the heaven and earth in 8 nights. And then the following morning being a day, you ask us to. You kept it, sanctified it. Amen. And ask us to keep it holy. Ask us Domenso. Guidance. You know so because he is holy in the land. Keep the land holy so he can dwell on a clean land, on a clean table with you. And here he said, Timbokoto, involve me in everything you do so that you can live the next day to the next day. And I ask you to make so that you can, trade with him from AK to AK. Then he also asks you to eat with him. Kiriko with him. Kiriko his puaka with him. Puaka is they call peka. So that you will live, eat to live to the following year. And whosoever doesn't eat this puaka is not gonna puaka, is not gonna live to the next year. And whosoever doesn't do this is Izu to Izu, or week to week, 8 day to 8 day celebration with him, that he is not gonna be alive, should be put to death. But why are you complaining? If things are put difficult, the economy is bad, the land is water is poison, the ocean is messed up. Listen, because you are not living according to the covenant. And that's your enabler to be saved. And this is your seal. Because you don't worship him on Friday, sun and moon, stars. The crowned planet Saturn. These are creatures. They're not the creator. The creator is worshipped on the creator's day. But Caesar got bold and audacious and evil and wicked to go to change this Sabbath, the day that his peace is ushered in after his creation of all stuff, all things. Get audacious. This is how rude and this stupid devil is, silly. What is he going to get from that? Just to violate the creator, to be, abusive. Everybody, even those that had the snake venom, skin and hair and all that. They even live in this rubbish that you worshiping, but they're still an evil man. Because they got their own need there. With his Jesus Christ. If you catch him now to say Jesus Christ is Jesus, the rootless and possessed. Oh, it's Christy. They start bleaching their teeth to deceive. It's Christy. It's Christy. We don't mean Christy. It's blood of Christ. They die for him. This is not what the human being on flesh is able to know. Therefore, you should be able to separate between the speaker from the messenger, the vessel. But if you refuse to, by getting bigoted and evil. Then he teach you sense, because now he say this time he's coming with his sword. His sword is all over the place, but you're just looking for dagger. No, he's not going to. Dagger doesn't kill enough than what he does right these days. So your seal is on this Iwozo. Iwochukwu, we do. Iwochukwu, you do, yeah? To teach his people, to govern his people. And this is what is democracy. Is the walking rod. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Do it. Comforter. They comfort me. So, and then the next one is the fifth one. That his name will be, he will have the exceptional respect and honor is his, belongs to CHIUKWU OKIKE. But he commands us to honor our father and the mother, for our life to be able to live long in this land that he gave to them to live. So if you are a stranger, you go evade people and you take their land, that land will chase you. This is why most people are restless. I am a visitor to this land, and I will live in it as long as I am in it. There are those whom he gave it to their fathers, not 300 years ago, not 1,000 years ago, not 2,000 years ago, but beyond, right from the beginning. Indigenous. Ibebi, not Ibibio. Those is there. They have a place that he gave to my fathers. That's where I call land, and that's why when we die, we go and get buried in that land. We don't get buried in the land he gave to other people. Simple. So if you are a beast without nation, a beast with no nation, don't blame those that the Most High gave the land to their fathers. Like Oni of Onitsha. Onitsha is not the land given to the father of so-called Oni of Onitsha, Onitisha, corrupter of the land, of creation. Now you see the land why the whole world in Nigeria is restless. This is we're using this today to also to honor our heroes that were murdered. Millions of Igbo people that were murdered in 1967, from 1967 to 1970 at least. And if you can look at all my videos, you will see that all the videos you see made by the people of the appearance and the people of CHIUKWU OKIKE is likeliness, which is this covenant and this democracy. All has been presented in this channel earlier. You can see that these people were killed in cold blood from thousands of miles away in a deceptive collaboration of the evil ones, evil Igbos. They say they're not Igbo. Hausa is Igbo. Yoruba is Igbo. Igbo, these are the people of the ancient. The whole Africa, so-called Africa, supposed to be Afraka. If you feel like you're supposed to. That's what Afraka is. It's not Africa. We are Biafra is the first nation pronounced by CHIUKWU OKIKE. The Idu is not a nation. It's the anointed. The anointed defenders of the covenant. Not everyone in Biafra or in Igbo land or the whole world is Idu. Idu is whom the CHIUKWU OKIKE runs each Bilede, each village, one by one, and they praise him in the way they are fit in the land and with him and in all he does for them. This is why Okwaji CHIUKWU OKIKE is only one CHIUKWU OKIKE. Each village praise him the way they are fit with him. The way, the way he relates to them, or the way they relate to him with passion. This is what Mose did in the book of Eguzoduzo, which is, they call it, he didn't call him Exodus, chapter 3. And who would I tell them that is leading them home, leading to them to the next destination? They call it Egypt and Israel. Israel is the Most High, the Creator, bringing another planet setting it onto the waters on this green earth he made for his children. That's Israel. But we are Israel because we get land. The land he gave to our fathers, we're not supposed to sell it. Nobody's supposed to take it away from us. You can't sell a land outright because it's not yours. Neither is that your father's, but your Father in heaven gave it to your fathers to live temporarily. You buy, you trade, you come back. You reincarnate, you come back. If you do right, you come back right. If you do wrong, you come back wrong. That's the way he made his earth. That's the earth. Israel, or Israel. No human, or not even beast, from heaven or or even spirit from heaven, can assume the position of Israel or Israel. We can answer Israel as a person like we answer CHIUKWU, we answer Ozuribo, which is something as Yahweh. We answer all different, we answer his name because we are called by his name. We answer Chida because we are called by his name. But he says if we do what he asks us to do about this covenant, that the other nations will be afraid of us because we are called by his name. We will only be hate. We will only be hate, not tell. Not in the bottom, but always be on the top. Because we are not doing what he says. We're not keeping his covenant and his democracy. That's why we are here. We are here. Trading in the bottom, skulls and dry bones. So, but everybody could see this new this compensation coming rapidly. It's nothing to be afraid of, because now the face of the wicked one has been exposed. Do not expect him to go without battle, tribulation, and serving Eke CHIUKWU OKIKE, celebrating him Shabbatudo on Eke Day. That's your seal. Because anyone that doesn't Shabbata Udo or Shabbata his creation on the 8th day, on the Eke Day only, you are so exposed. You're so exposed. So my father, someone, my mother, Nkaro, Nosiri, Osungos, all both from Idu family. Can I get one? I know you. The one was saying, what's on you? When you eat, please present to those before you and those after you, like my late brother siblings. You see? Here is wine. Mama Chineke Mama. Present to my mother, my father, Igbu Awa, no comba, rooster, in respect for Igbu Awa, and then give it to you, and CHIUKWU OKIKE Chikunna, or Banna too. And you ask us, never, thou shalt not kill. Onyebula. Onyebula is the name of my late mother's youngest brother, no youngest sister. Umidu. Onyebula. My grandfather called his last son Onyebula. And that's why we say that Igbu Ishi Sunwuru Ishi, Igbu Modu Sunwuru Mokudu, Igbu Mekiti Sinkitiwum. And only shine our watch, education. This is why. It's not a curse. It's meditation. Because meditation is strength, is power. Oguwike is the name of one of my kinsmen, elders, late elders in my kindred. CHIUKWU OKIKE, CHIUKWU Eze, CHIUKWU Abokuya, when you hear date, there's nothing like God. There's not all these rubbish names. It's a phrase of praise, exceptional praise. The same way, Mose Kuo, call Moses, Moshe, Isaac. No, these are not. These are lies. The same way Moses did call him Yahweh, according to the Bible. That's to be known what has been done to it. But Moses said, call him Yahuwah, he that sees the whole earth, the whole heart, everything that is under the earth. And he said, oh, none of these his grandparents, his ancestors, as it ever call him by that, know him by that name. They knew him as Ashad. They call him Shatan. Ashad, to challenge him, you fall. Who live in hell? And he called him Elohim, my ultimate judge. But Moses called him Yahuwah, which is the ultimate witness. That's the beauty of the Igbo language, the key, the language of heaven, the key that opens all locks, the language that was used to create this heaven and earth. Before they start twisting, humbling is humbling. Georgie, Jindo Georgie is judge. No wonder the courts are circus. No. And they happen to call illegitimate son born out of evil. They call him God. They call him the Creator. I don't know what they call him. And they also call him the covenant that he is used to violate to the teeth, to the letters. And the 61 being that thou shalt not kill. The 7th one is that thou shalt not break the wedlock. You should not go into your neighbors and have into your neighbor's house and have, not to speak of having evil children with him, that if you do, you shall be put to death. See how the land is chasing them, and they're looking, they go burn it. If you burn that off, we'll be free. And Jesus will start worshiping us. How long has you been with your Jesus Christ and your Muhammad and all these human beings? Shito, all these Buddha. How long have you been with them, and what have they done but put you in trouble, in confusion? You shall be put to death. And now you're restless, looking for somebody to blame because he wants to, because the Creator is coming back. He's coming back to use his dues. The other time, you guys distracted the whole stuff, but Rome was destroyed without a gunshot. But this time he says, the affliction shall not be for a second time, because he has inscribed it in our faces and in our tongue and in our heart. So we do not forget for affliction not to be another time, second time. He's the source of life. All he does is yank it. He yank it. As he's been yanking it little by little. So he finished yanking it. That's Ege. That's CHIUKWU OKIKE. That's the covenant. The CHIUKWU, the Most High, that comes. That is a part. The Chi of Ege. And in the 8th one, he says, thou shalt not steal. See, the other ones are blasphemy. But no, thou shalt not steal. If you steal anything, you must pay it back. You must be made with this stuff. Or they call it off for the talk rubbish. They don't know what that means. That is symbol. CHIUKWU, the covenant. So we do not forget. They say they worship stick, they worship snake, they worship. No, we don't worship it. Those are used as ihe n'ụwa iji amanto ihe mmiri igwe. Things on the earth used to give example to to what is in heaven, the way it is in heaven. We don't worship it. We worship only CHIUKWU OKIKE. CHIUKWU OKIKE is from Eke, is Eke himself, but that's his spirit. And he used, then there's the big spirit, the great spirit, the Most High Spirit. And in the 9th one, he says, thou shalt not give a false witness against your neighbor, because he might be killed and the blood will be on you. But in addition to it, it is difficult to beat a child very bitterly and badly, and expect him not to cry a bad cry. For whosoever makes an innocent person go wrong in the wrong way, he shall fall in his own pit. So you cannot go tempting people or dragging people into doing evil, people who otherwise would have not done that. And you drag them in, try to lure them in to do those kind of things. You are going to bear the consequences of what you drag them into. Simple as that. That's the way they do, is as to preach to us, to relay the commands to us. Not because he hates us. He loves us to be able to be in that position to do such without worrying about whose ox is gored. So if you steal, you pay back. If you don't have what you stole or what to pay back, you will be judged by the staff of judgment. And if you are convicted, you'll be judged, you'll be enforced or forced to do it with the staff of the enforcement judge or staff. So this is the life of the Kendinso. This is the life in Dinso. And also that you should not, that you were not going to say that you gave Kusi Ujara was somebody Chukum and that if the Most High gives you a good gift of any kind in a good, right way, that no one should say, why should he be? And whosoever says, why should he be mean? Let him be punished for it. So But how do we? So we then end up this by asking CHIUKWU OKIKE to answer our prayer, and then that's when we say, Ise, and that's calling for life, request of life, because whosoever have this covenant, keeps this covenant, is who shall have life. You see what the heathens are trying to disturb there, but they cannot jump that rope without keeping it, without professing it, and without worshiping only Ekebe, because that's blasphemy. Second one, bowing to anything else. You are his enemy. He's going to punish you, visit you with his wrath forever. I don't know about from second and third generation. How can you survive one generation of the wrath of the Ogbako? These are all the religious confusion, Babel. And this is for, this video presentation is for Igbu Awa, in respect of our fathers, in respect of CHIUKWU OKIKE. This is, what they reflect to as the first fruit. And we use Akid Obakala. Akid Obakala. Obakala is near CHIUKWU in Umar. That's what we use, and we also use a rooster for our fathers. And when we use that roosters to sacrifice to our, as an honor to our father, if your father, if the whosoever they reincarnated to, or they came to life to again to trade again another time, that person shall not eat that rooster. He can eat that of the next of kings that are who are not reincarnated, who they're not in the reincarnation, and like Ephraim, which means you worship me. So he's not going to eat it from the one, for those person that is reincarnated him. And so we go from house to house and they do that so that everybody will have a chance, because one person is not reincarnated, is not being reincarnated by more than one person, and this is a fire sacrifice. Sacrifice made of fire. And also, this is not only for, this presentation is not only for Igbu Awa, but it's also in celebration or remembrance of the Biafra Independence Day in 1967, May 1967. See how it coincides, because it coincided, the declaration coincided in May 30. And then, while this Igbu Awa is also showing the first end of the first quarter, Igbo first quarter, in the same month. And now, what a coincidence. The remembrance or the celebration, the 1 year anniversary of this Ogbako Ishi Obi Biafra channel, which is a prophecy from the book of Isaiah 43, the gathering of the people of CHIUKWU OKIKE, his children scattered to the four corners of the earth. And there is something here, and it's a celebration of the light. The light here is Igbo land, the place of creation near the center of the earth, the Bakassi Peninsula, which everybody has been killing themselves to come to divide. Biake, they say Beke. Oh, Igbo. Oh, Igbo. Is this how a friend treats their friends? And who uses the word Oye in the area called the Igbo, who claiming to be Igbo? Oni cha, Oni Tishan, Oni Tam, Oni Sam, Oni Ham, Oni Chan. The Japanese call it Oni Chan. That's the language. People say they're teaching the language, Igbo language in Harvard. That's not Igbo language. That's corruption. That's evil. Koriro, Buchon, corruption. These are Igbo languages. Igbo words, a phrase made out of language. Koriro, Buchon, that's corruption. And then these lights are now on the four corners of the earth, and the darkest you can see from Bakassi Peninsula to the other side of Brazil in South America. This light is close there, but this light is badly needed in where you call North America today. You see, some of it is close. Europe is close, and Asia. So the place that they needed, the light, real light. I'm not talking about this evil light from crude oil and the coal from the earth. These are right here in Australia, New Zealand, and that's southeast, and on the northwest of the earth are where these are darkest. That's why no wonder Marcus Garvey made this flag to be the Biafran flag, this black flag to be like this, and why no wonder the members of the Eastern Constitutional Assembly are elders like Melford, I think it's Melford Opigo. I think it's not Melford, but Opigo, but not Opigo. That's a Opi Igbo, the horn, Igbo horn. Frank Opigo, the one. Opigo is the one that they had to took his suggestion that this is Biafra, and he was absolutely correct on the hit, because that's the first name that CHIUKWU gave to his children to come and join, come and take from CHIUKWU his seat of judgment. And what they call the hidden now decide to defraud their own needs. Go check what Oni means. Oni means the demon devil. So these are children that came out wrong. They didn't come according to the marriage covenant or righteousness of Not at all. They the ones who claim they saw their fathers nakedness. And that's a blasphemy, right? That's why they want to throw their Bible away. They want to throw it away. But no. And they were struggling for it. And they waited forever. Innovations. A lot of people were murdered for them to lay their hand in that written constitution. Igbo gave to the world. They said the Igbo gave to the world. The Igbo didn't give it to you. You stole it. So that's why they want to throw it away right now. But it's too late. It's too late. In order to cut it a little bit shorter, and the rest of the past videos can help. I want you to listen and to a video after the Biafran Civil War genocide, where the children of CHIUKWU across the world were singing, whether it's the Maytones group, and this is Maytone group. What a coincidence! That all the glory and praise be to you. Oh, now can who is unlike you? No one. Why me? Why me? So, going to play it. It was given to me last night. I had it in those days. I was a young guy after the war. Happy survival. I saw it. It was given to me last night. I never played it before. I hope everybody enjoys it. Have a good man. Shabbat was last 2 days ago. After the day before yesterday, which is Eke, and the next one will be in the next part 3. That's the next 5 days. Since it was on Monday, if it was on Sunday last week, it's going to be on Monday next week. If it was, I think it was Sunday, because yesterday was Odi, which was Odiuku, which was Monday. And then the day before it was Sunday, which was Ekuku. And today is Afuku. Then Ekuku, the next day, the day the fish was created, the first sea beast was created. And as he said, the man has life of water and the life of the fish. May there be no lack of water. May there be no lack of water, for there to be no lack of fish. So forgive us, O people. Know that everything that falls into these 5 days is a show, is a tag. It's a signal of who the people are, and the signal of the quest of life. The 5th day, honor your father and your mother so that you will live longer in the land that you give to them. He said, the 5 laws of the covenant, and Jobanda with 9 CHIUKWU. He said, therefore, and the fifth was it the life in flesh was created. He said, but the so-called Roman Caesar said they used to spread with his evil media that the Afraka, someone call Africa. Some say Africa, some say all kind of rubbish, but that the Afraka people are so dumb, they couldn't create, make anything, discover or invent anything, if not even numbers that will count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, innumerable. But now, you look at the book of Jeremiah, I think it's Jeremiah 16:19, you will say this. But these other nations at this time will say, lo, our fathers have inherited lies. And where the word number came from, but onumba is Igbo language. So Caesar has always been bigoted and envious and killed. Whatever it is, that's devil. Has always been killing, lying, deceiving. These are the attributes of devil, lies. And never produced anything, but only possessing and stealing, robbing, killing, murdering. We can keep it right there and say, to CHIUKWU Okikeke Asim Mezu Neke Mezu Onuri Mezu Onafre Mezu Onanko Mandai Pere Mandai Nara Mandai Yaro Mandai Chitra Mandai Nechitra Mandai Kutra Mandai Kuchinchina Kina Musia Isa. All praises and glory be to you, O CHIUKWU OKIKE.
Whatever you may do, you should remember that there